Jason, welcome back to the Princess. Bart acknowledged Jason's soul. It's quite a novel experience to meet your soul here. I'm not accustomed to seeing you without the influence of alcohol. I can't believe I'm stuck here after you killed me and all, complained crazy drunk Jason. I killed you, wondered Bart. How in God's name did you reach that conclusion? You boarded up that window, Jason mispronounced the word window in accordance with his southern dialect. Locked me out of the princess so I couldn't get warm. Left me out in the cold to freeze to death. I didn't know anything about you being homeless. So you blame me and not the rich and rare whiskey? Bart disputed his assertion. I thought the whiskey would keep me warm, but I was wrong about that, so here I am. Jason, property of the goddamn Princess Theater. Now what? I pulled your contracts, Bart started to explain. It turns out you sold your soul to the princess 7 times before the bartenders figured out what you were up to. I've got the contracts here in this office. How many souls do you have? I only count 1. Thus you owe me 6 more souls. After all, they did give you 7 beers for just 1 soul. Well, I thought it was all bullshit anyhow, explained Jason, so I never thought it would come to this when I was just trying to have me some free beer. More like 6 or 7 beers, insisted Bart. So sue me, said defiant Jason. There ain't much you can do about it now. I understand that, realized Bart. That doesn't change the fact that you committed soul fraud. You're like a guy who goes around town writing bad checks with a trail of bouncing checks following him from store to store. Again, what you gonna do about it, smiled Jason's smoky apparition. There's not much I can do about it, but I can't promise you there won't be some consequences, speculated Bart. There may be an afterlife enforcement agency that will decide to look into it. I would prefer your actions didn't attract the attention of such netherworld enforcers. Maybe that's why I saw that ugly bitch. She looked pissed off. I just thought it was all bullshit and nothing would come of it, reiterated Jason. I thought so too until souls started turning up after the funeral, said Bart. I didn't get no funeral, responded Jason. They just cremated me and put me in a communal pile of ashes. That explains why you're here so quick, said Bart. Most souls don't get here until after their funerals are done. No funeral for me. I just had to wait for Lowndes County to get around to throwing me in the fire and incinerating me. So here I am. What's next? First, you'll meet the other souls. You have your orientation. Bart went through the drill. Your primary duty will be to keep an eye on the theater and report to me on things we don't want to allow people like people to do, like breaking into the premises, thefts, drug uses, cheaters at poker. That's how I knew to board up the window you were using to get into the basement below the stage. So these souls are the reason I died? Just fuck y'all. You hear me? Just got me killed. It's not our fault you spent all your money on booze. Had nowhere to sleep at night, spoke Jim on behalf of the other souls. Bart takes care of our needs, so we feel obligated to keep an eye on things for him. Yeah, he's going to help my parents get visitation with my kids so I can visit with them here at the Princess. Just tell him what you want and Bart'll make it happen, said an enthusiastic Jeremy. Cool, acknowledged Jason. How about my favorite brand of whiskey, rich and rare? I don't think ghosts can consume alcoholic beverages, said Bart. And even if they could, I couldn't be certain you'd be able to feel the effects because ghosts don't have brains. But they still can't think, persisted Jason. Maybe Bart can pour some into the hot tub, suggested Marty. Yeah, we could get drunk on alcohol-infused bubbles. Great idea, added Jim. Worth a try. How about I add a bottle of rich and rare Canadian whiskey to the hot tub tonight and see how that goes, offered Bart. I'd stick around for that. With that, Bart sent Ches and Jeff to the nearest liquor store in search of rich and rare whiskey. It was an inexpensive brand, so Bart didn't add any instructions to shop for bargains. A pint was all they would need. Upon Jeff and Chez's return from the liquor store, Bart got the bubbles turning in the hot tub and added a pint of Jason's favorite whiskey to the cauldron of bubbles produced by the many jets of air that was infused into the warm water that was set at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. He used the setting as an opportunity to inform Ches the Australian Aboriginal, the key differences between Celsius and Fahrenheit temperatures. Equipped with electrical power, warm water, the bubbles were fully able to manifest and appreciate the tranquility afforded by the whiskey carried aloft by the warm vapor in the otherwise cool air. As the souls hovered about backstage after midnight, a sound was heard from one of the store doors backstage. The doors were designed to be opened in order to allow bands to load and unload musical gear via a truck or trailer, which could easily be backed up to what was essentially a loading dock via the concrete parking lot behind the building. Someone had broken in below stage via a different window than the one Jason had been using to gain entrance into the back of the building. Some enterprising would-be thief had noticed that the cemetery surfers kept their instruments, amplifiers, and various speakers backstage, which allowed for impromptu rehearsals. The thief, dressed in black, with a black ski mask, ascended the stairs from the basement with a flashlight carrying large lock cutters. He promptly used to cut the deadbolt which kept the loading zone door locked. The door fell open inward as an accomplice backed the truck up against the loading zone. After the first thief signaled the flashlight, "Look at all this shit they got back here," said the first thief, as he directed the beam of light into the backstage area to reveal the collection of musical equipment. "Looks like we hit the jackpot, buddy." "Shh," whispered the first thief. "Not so loud. We don't want someone to hear us." As he pointed the beam of flashlight around the collection of instruments, the light died out. "Shit," said the first thief. "I thought you had new batteries in that thing," said the accomplice from the back of the truck as he stepped in the theater. "Damn it, I did," said the frustrated first thief. "What's that noise?" said the second thief upon hearing the rumble of bubbling water to the hot tub. "Sounds like running water," thought the first thief. "Sounds like bad luck for you," said Jason. "Hey, that's not fair. I'm the first ghost," protested Marty. "I should get the first fright." "Jason shouldn't exhibit the first manifestation," protested Jim. "He's just an amateur when it comes to haunting." "What can I say? A little whiskey goes a long way," said Jason. The two thieves heard the ghostly conversation in the darkness and sought to flee the theater as they scrambled to get into the pickup truck. What they failed to realize is that the ghosts could also manifest in their truck as well by making use of the voltage contained within the battery that was unable to start the truck because the distributor cap had been disabled by the fledgling ghost Jeremy, who not only did road work, but he fancied himself as a shade tree mechanic. Thus, when the thief number 2 turned the ignition, nothing happened except the laughter of souls. The radio was perfect medium for broadcasting the voices of souls. "Hey, fuckers," said Jason. "I ain't letting you get away with breaking in here. If they wouldn't let me just come in here to get warm." "Shut the fuck up," said Marty. "I'm the senior ghost here. I get first dibs on all the haunting. It's all part of our training." "It should be, but they didn't give us no handbook." "We can see about that at the next meeting," said Jeremy. The would-be thieves were in a panic, but the truck wouldn't start. Thus they had no choice but to run away into the night, leaving the evidence of their break-in behind at the loading dock with numerous documents, license plates, registration to make the identification easy. The two thieves would be arrested the next day, and everyone in Lowndes County Jail would hear the stories of the ghostly surprise that awaited everyone who thought they could break into the Princess Theater.